Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the Iron Lady of Africa. Welcome to another inspiring episode of Listen with Yayavi podcast. Today, we travel to West Africa to discover the incredible story of a woman who refused to surrender to fear, dictatorship, and discrimination. A woman who survived prison, a woman who survived exile, a woman who survived assassination threats, and eventually became Africa's first elected female president. Her name was Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Many know her as the Iron Lady of Africa, but behind that title lies a story of sacrifice, courage, and determination. How did a young girl from Liberia become one of the most influential women in world politics? Let's begin. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was born on October 29, 1938, in the capital city of Monrovia, in the West African nation of Liberia. Liberia had a unique history. It was founded by formerly enslaved African Americans who returned to Africa in the 19th century. Ellen grew up in a family that valued education. Her parents taught her discipline and hard work. As a young girl, she loved reading. She dreamed of achieving something meaningful in life. But in those days, opportunities for women were limited. Most people expected girls to become wives and mothers. Few imagined women becoming national leaders. Yet Ellen had different plans. She wanted more, and she was willing to fight for it. Ellen married at a young age and became a mother. Like many women, she balanced family responsibilities with personal ambitions. But she never gave up on education. In the 1960s, she travelled to the United States. She studied accounting and economics. Later, she attended the prestigious Harvard University. This was a remarkable achievement. At Harvard, she earned a master's degree in public administration. She learned about economics, governance, and leadership. Education transformed her life. When she returned to Liberia, she brought back knowledge and confidence. Soon, her talents attracted attention. Government officials began noticing the intelligent young economist. Her political journey was about to begin. During the 1970s, Ellen entered public service. She became Liberia's Minister of Finance. At the time, this was a major achievement for a woman. She quickly earned a reputation for honesty and competence. She spoke openly about economic problems. She criticized waste and corruption. Not everyone appreciated her honesty. Powerful figures felt threatened. But Ellen refused to remain silent. She believed leaders should serve the people, not themselves. This belief would later place her in great danger. In 1980, Liberia experienced a military coup. The government was overthrown. Political instability spread throughout the country. A military leader named Samuel Doe took power. Many politicians remained silent out of fear. Ellen did not. She openly criticized government policies. Her speeches challenged corruption and mismanagement. The regime viewed her as a threat. Soon, she was arrested. She faced intimidation and imprisonment. Imagine standing before powerful military rulers, knowing that your words could cost your freedom or even your life. Yet Ellen continued speaking. Her courage made her a symbol of resistance. As political tensions increased, Ellen faced repeated arrests. Eventually, she left Liberia for safety. She lived in exile. Far from home, far from family, far from the country she loved. Many people in exile abandon their dreams. Ellen did the opposite. She continued studying economic development. She worked for international organizations. She gained global experience. And she watched her homeland descend into chaos. Liberia was moving toward one of the bloodiest civil wars in African history. She knew one day she would return. The 1990s were a nightmare for Liberia. Civil war consumed the nation. Armed groups fought for power. Villages were destroyed. Children became soldiers. Thousands died. Hundreds of thousands fled their homes. The country collapsed. Hospitals stopped functioning, schools closed, families were torn apart. The world watched in horror. Liberia desperately needed peace. It needed leadership. It needed hope. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf believed she could help rebuild the nation. But first, the war had to end. After years of conflict, Liberia prepared for democratic elections. Many doubted that a woman could win. Politics remained dominated by men. Critics mocked Ellen. Some called her too educated. Others called her too outspoken. But she refused to back down. She travelled across Liberia, meeting ordinary citizens. She listened to mothers. She listened to farmers. She listened to war survivors. Her message was simple. We must rebuild Liberia. The people responded. They were tired of violence. They wanted peace. And they wanted change. In 2005, history was made. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf won the presidential election. She became Africa's first democratically elected female president. The world celebrated. Women everywhere celebrated. A historic barrier had fallen. For the first time, a woman would lead an African nation through democratic election. When she took office in January 2006, she inherited enormous problems. The economy was devastated, infrastructure was destroyed, government institutions were weak. Yet she accepted the challenge. The rebuilding began. President Sirleaf focused on reconstruction. Schools reopened, roads were repaired, international investors returned, foreign debt was reduced, economic growth improved. Most importantly, Liberia remained peaceful. This was a major achievement after years of civil war. Her leadership gained international recognition. She became one of the most respected leaders in Africa. Young women across the continent began seeing new possibilities. If Ellen could become president, perhaps they could become leaders too. In 2011, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf received one of the world's highest honours. She was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. The prize recognised her efforts to promote peace, democracy, and women's rights. For Ellen, the award represented more than personal success. It represented the progress of women everywhere. It showed that courage and perseverance can change history. In 2014, Liberia faced another challenge. The deadly Ebola virus disease outbreak spread across West Africa. Fear gripped the nation. Thousands became infected. Many died. President Sirleaf led the national response. The crisis tested her leadership. Though the challenge was enormous, Liberia eventually overcame the epidemic. Once again, resilience prevailed. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's story is not merely a political biography. It is a story about courage, a story about education, a story about resilience. She faced prison, she faced exile, she faced dictatorship, she faced war. Yet she never surrendered. Instead, she rose higher. From a young girl in Monrovia, to a Harvard graduate, to a political prisoner, to Africa's first elected female president. Her journey reminds us that leadership is not about power, it is about service. It is about standing up when others sit down. It is about speaking when others remain silent. And above all, it is about believing that change is possible. Thank you for listening to Listen with Yayadi podcast. Until next time, keep learning from the lives of extraordinary leaders who changed our world.